You know what's crazy? JavaScript can turn this 5 plus 5 into 10, but also turn 5 plus 5 into 55, and somehow both are correct. Imagine this in a real app: payments, carts, logins. One wrong type conversion and you get wrong prices, broken logic, or failed transactions. Most devs just fix it without knowing why. But in 2026, real engineers understand JavaScript's hidden behavior, especially type coercion, because that's where serious bugs come from. Today, you'll learn JavaScript data types and its weird automatic conversion system so you can predict JS behavior before it runs. Every modern web app, YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, depends on JavaScript data types. React, Next.js, and Node.js all rely on them. When data types go wrong, UIs break, logic fails, and APIs misbehave. That's why this isn't just basic JavaScript, it's a core skill for building real applications. Think of JavaScript like a chef in a kitchen. Sometimes it receives sugar, sometimes salt, and it tries to guess what you meant. That guessing is called type coercion. Let's build the mental model first. JavaScript has two main categories of data types: primitive and reference types. Primitive types are simple values, like numbers, strings, booleans, null, undefined, big int, and symbol. Reference types are complex structures: objects, arrays, functions. They don't store the value directly, they store a reference. Let's test it quickly. Why didn't it change? Because primitives are copied by value. Now watch this. This is where most beginners get confused. Objects are shared references. Now let's talk about JavaScript's most infamous behavior: type coercion. JavaScript automatically converts values when types don't match. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it destroys your logic. JS says, "Oh, you want a string? Let me help you." Now this. Wait, now it converts string to number. Why? Because subtraction forces numeric context. This inconsistency is what makes JavaScript both powerful and dangerous. Let's simulate a real bug developer's face. Why is this happening? Because one value is a string. JS assumes string concatenation. Let's fix it. Professional developers don't guess, they inspect. Open Chrome DevTools, console, type typeof price. This is how real engineers debug production issues in companies like Amazon or Netflix. At this point, you've learned something most beginners ignore for months: how JavaScript actually treats data behind the scenes. You can now predict why expressions behave differently before even running code. That's a major developer milestone. You'll find a downloadable summary, code snippets, quiz, and coding challenge in the video description to reinforce everything you learned today. If JavaScript is finally starting to click, subscribe. Next, we'll explore functions and closures, the secret behind how apps remember information and power features you use every day. Quick question for you: what's the weirdest JavaScript behavior you've ever seen? Drop it in the comments. In interviews, you will get asked, what is type coercion in JavaScript? Junior developers say JS converts types automatically. Mid-level developers say JS performs implicit conversion based on operators like add, subtract, equals. Senior engineers say, I avoid unsafe coercion and enforce type safety through patterns or TypeScript. Type coercion isn't just about bugs, it can also impact performance. Every unnecessary conversion adds hidden computation. In large apps with millions of users, like Netflix or Uber, small inefficiencies multiply fast. That's why modern teams prefer strict typing systems like TypeScript. Think about YouTube comments. When you post a comment, it instantly appears without reload. That's JavaScript handling dynamic data types in real time. If types were inconsistent, your comment system could break mid-render. Next episode, we're diving into functions and closures, one of JavaScript's most powerful concepts. You'll learn how apps remember information even after a function has finished running, and why closures are used everywhere from React to event handlers. Keep going. You're building the JavaScript foundation that every professional developer relies on.